I assume it turned out to be a reality in your world.
Yeah, yeah. Now I got the stew at home, and they got stews, and I work with them, and I got songs with Ara coming out too, working in the works right
So that's.
now, and
Can I
it's
ask you
good.
another question? Because a little bit like it's a little bit market research for me. Like, how often do I get to talk to this person that's in a completely different universe than my universe? Do y'all have home studios? Like, do you guys go to studios? Is that like an interesting idea, or would you just prefer to do it at home for life?
Um, I think that I would love to go to a studio for the experience, for the professionalness of it. I mean, for me, it doesn't make a difference. At the end of the day, if the song turns out good in the basement, if it turns out good in the studio, it doesn't really make a difference. No one knows where it was recorded at the end. So, you know, to make it a more feasible thing for me in terms of getting to record and getting to try out things and taking the time to spend in the studio trying out different techniques and new techniques and test out lyrics and change songs up. It was just more realistic to put a studio myself together and and just do it here, and this way I can pretty much on my own time spend as much time as I want figuring everything out and how it works and kind of how to go about things. And over time I've increased my skills and changed to mixing and mastering myself, whereas I was just recording here at the beginning and sending my audio. So so it's
Do you,
allowed me to kind of put more effort into this.
so do you think that most people are doing what you're doing with the home studio, teaching themselves how to do this shit, etc., at this point?
In terms of, I mean, from the people I've met, pretty much everyone is going that route, and I think that also home studios, in terms of renting them out, are even becoming a popular trend now. That gear is more feasibly priced, and and uh, and technology is more common in households. Just kind of high amounts of technology, and being able to plugins and stuff like that used to not exist, and you had to go to a soundboard to make these sounds. So I think that it was kind of always coming this way as technology advanced, and from what I've seen, pretty much everyone I know has studios at their house. I mean, Gabe records out in Toronto at some real studios, but besides that, every Drew, JK, all the links, all these guys, they're doing it out of their house and out of their basement, and it allows them to kind of put more time into this and not have to worry about the money aspect of renting out studios and going in there and trying to bang out as much as you can in that small condensed time. It allows you to kind of sit with songs and work on them on your own pace, and I think it allows a little bit more creativity because you're not set in stone when you get in. And I know that in the future when you're big, you can kind of sit there for hours and hours on end and days if you want renting out studio time. But for young guys with not a lot of money, working part-time jobs, going to school, it's not really feasible. So I think this is a better route in terms of letting creativity flow.
Yeah, I love that you said that. And shout out Ghostface Miller, who bumped Three Headed Shadow and says it's very dope. So that's fucking cool.
Respect, man, respect. I appreciate that.
Nah, but I love your energy, man. See, this is where it's like inspiring to me. Is like, I feel like a lot of us above the age of 30 are trying to go through this renaissance where we're like reinventing ourselves. But the fact is like, y'all are the future, right? So it's whatever y'all are gonna do that's gonna like dictate the trends of wherever the fuck stuff is gonna happen. And we can either ride the train with you or we can fight reality, is how I see it. So the more I get to talk to people that are making these moves and seeing these transitions, it's like, yo, I'm just gonna do what y'all do. Fuck that. Y'all are doing simpler shit and it costs less money. Love it. Let's get it. Um, and then as shit comes back to life though. So okay, so you start making music. Have you ever performed?
No. Like my music, no.
That's serious. And you want to perform though, right? Like this real life shit. Is it important?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Like that's my dream. My dream is like I think a lot of MTL kids' dream is, standing in the Bell Center and stand in front of people you grew up next to, and people that can kind of share the same environment as you and understand, especially a lot of music is based off of, past experiences and how you go about life and how you were raised and stuff. So I think that it's nice to be able to kind of get that vibe and see my own people out here and get that experience. So yeah, of course, that's the goal.
Yeah, that's fucking dope. Honestly, I like how you said I want to be on the Bell Center with my boys doing my thing. That's nice. That's such a pleasant, familial thought. And I say that because I want people to know that this is Montreal too. Um, but honestly, yo, what is Reddit sessions? Ghostface Miller, tell us what Reddit sessions is, unless you know what Reddit sessions is, because I personally don't. But meanwhile, Ismail has a question that's going to lead into other questions. What do you think about room performances? Like right now, your room, I'm assuming here, you bust out some tracks and you start spitting at the internet.
I'm all for that kind of. I find it's happened a lot during COVID that people are kind of doing their at-home performances where they're kind of setting up, sometimes outside in their backyard or in the car or whatever, like Machine Gun Kelly did there, and kind of just spitting their tracks. I think that's a crazy and cool idea, and I'd be, down for it. I think that it takes a little bit of the pressure off, but it's a different experience. I feel like
It's a different
even having,
pressure.
a conversation over, yeah, exactly, two different pressures. Having a conversation over the internet is different than having a conversation in person, and the content can be the same, but reading body language and facial expressions and things like that, it doesn't get as well communicated over the internet. But I think that it's going to become a very popular thing, and if the MTL boys decide they want to put together a little show and we all do our thing, I'm going to be out there. This is what
Yo,
I live for. So
are you kidding? The second COVID's done. That's what's gonna happen. A lot of us are gonna be out there. Like, yo, all I do is fantasize on how I can do things that take this Twitch experience and blend it with that real life fucking show experience. And I have theories and predictions and a bunch of shits, but like, it's like, yo, the live is about to come back the second the government's like, okay, the second vaccinations are done, enough of you have the percentage. All of a sudden it's gonna be like a fucking switch and everything's allowed back again by like the winter time. So now's like the planning phase for the wise, where we like, make our little moves and figure out what the fuck we're gonna do. Also, Ghostface Miller, I don't know how to stream to Reddit, but I fucking love that idea. Apparently we can stream to Reddit, do our own fucking little sets and network up on the Reddit sphere, which is definitely not a sphere I'm that comfortable on. I'm not really a Redditor myself. I should maybe look at it more. Stills, as an example, like, what would you think about doing shit like fucking busting rhymes in parks and shit like that?
I'm with it. I mean, yeah, I'm down with it. I think that it's never been kind of in the a plan for at least a lot of us for a good amount of time, because like it's you can't really do anything these days, but when it opens up, I think that's a good opportunity to kind of showcase talent and bring it to the streets, and it's uplifting when you see music out on the streets. Just being in the city, Montreal has people that are playing music everywhere out downtown and in the parks and Mount Royal and all that, and I think that it creates a cool environment, especially when we're just going to be getting out and being, getting that freedom back. That it could create a nice setting, and it's also a great way to get music out and get people in the city bumping the city. And I think that's how like a lot of cities take off. You gotta blow up within your sphere to exit into the other spheres.
Yo, I fucking love that. So y'all are trying to make Montreal litty so you can get famous elsewhere. That is your focus right now.
I think that anywhere where music is prevalent, there's huge music communities that are bringing up and allowing these people to get their opportunities to come and get to the big stage and have, I think, at the end of the day, it's about getting the music out. If people see it and it's a song that can be enjoyed, then people will enjoy it. It's more about getting it to the people that can enjoy it, and getting music out there is a little hard in terms of the fact that it's so easy for everyone to put out music these days,
Preach that.
that there's a lot of music out there, and it's not as easy to get noticed because of that. But I think that if you can become big within your city, then that's what your city talks about elsewhere, and that's where things lead to things
Woo!
becoming
Hold
bigger.
on. Can I just ask to, like, if I'm understanding what you just said? So if you could make the shit in the city litty enough that motherfuckers be saying your name when they do shit like tourism in other places, they bring you to them places and bring up your name. Is that basically what I heard you say?
That's pretty much, yeah, that's what I'm saying.